So, Peyton, Aaron, Kayla, and I were sitting down at the bench by the art room in the Art and Architecture North building. We found this kind of just sitting on the side next to the bushes. It looked like somebody had dropped a weird little keychain thing. But when we tried to plug in the thumb drive, we got this weird password uh, password protected file that we couldn't access. So then we started looking more at it because we're trying to figure out whose it was, and we found out that this thing opens. But all we found inside was this weird symbol. Not really sure what it is. Oh, I mean, I guess I'll just take a picture of it and maybe see what other people notice and see if they can probably figure it out. That's weird. I don't really know what this is. It popped up when I was trying to take a picture. It might be the password. I'm gonna give it a try and see what happens. So here's the thumb drive, and as you can see, there's a folder here, but I don't have permission for it. Then there's the unlock here. So protected folder. So let's try the password. Hey, it worked. Alright, well, let's unlock it and see what it is, shall we? Whoa, some files in here. Agricultural, parents, family, government. What are all these? Huh. Maybe I'll send them to Kayla, Aaron, and Peyton, see what they can think of this, because looks like there's a few files to go through. Huh. I don't know. Guess we'll find out.
So, Steven, were you able to access that thumb drive at all?
Yeah, I was. I actually was able to. You know that piece of paper that was inside the little pill container thing?
Yeah.
Well, when I tried to take a picture to send to you guys, it popped up with a passcode on it. It was really weird. But yeah, so I was able to get into it, and I actually am going to send you guys each files that I need you to take a look at and let me know what you find because this is too much for me to do by myself.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
take a look
Yeah,
at that.
send us the files.
All right.
All right, that's what we'll do.
Hey, did you guys notice anything kind of strange about all these files?
Yeah, did we find a furry society?
Yeah, I think there was
I don't
some
know.
furries in the picture, but I thought maybe that was I don't was that something to do with like anything in their group?
Yeah, it looks like we've basically discovered a furry society, yeah.
Anything in their group?
Yeah, it looks like we've basically discovered a furry society, yeah. Okay, so I found out that they actually have some rules set in place. I found this very old document that was able to be translated into English, and they're very simple rules, I'd say. Do you want me to read them off for you guys? Okay, all right. So what they translated so far is 1, you cannot copy a fursona already taken. 2, do not touch a fursuiter. 3, new members must be a wolf. 4, wooing excessively is a $350 fine. 5, don't be that guy, whatever that means in their society. And 6, shower. That's a piece. And there's also apparently like this leader that is also showing off this document, so it's official piece. I also have some more here. I got a special edition of their Bible holding all this rules set in place. And they have depicted what their god looks like. It's very fancy looking and kind of looks like a cat of some sort. Say pretty interesting. Yeah, that's what I have so far for the society.
Okay, yeah. So under like the new member director, there was an email I found, and it looked like it was a new member director maybe talking to another new member director, talking about how like they have new pledges and new people in their society and how they're starting the marking process, which I think I figured out what that means, but I'll get that to you a little later. But they're starting the marking process, and they also mention legacies and how they're going to be trained and how they have some testing. So looking into this further, there is a legacy folder, and the legacies seem like all Greek students. They're like Greek composite photos, and this got me thinking that this must be a society that's gone on for many generations, and maybe from what I can tell from between the email and like what was said, these legacies seem to be the trainers of the new members. They probably came into the like society already when they were younger, so by the time they got to college, which seems to be the age that they start getting things rolling, they already knew what they were doing. So now they're like higher up, and the fact that they train and maybe even recruit the new members, I'm assuming that they might be like Greek students or maybe parts of clubs, and they use those as resources to recruit new members. I don't know. It seems like a great possibility according to the email and the fact that there was an entire file based off the legacies. There was also another file. It's labeled 2020, and within it, there was a picture of what I can imagine is the new members. It's labeled so. And there was also a whole bunch of images of what looks like people being tattooed with what we've already determined as the UWU symbol. I think that's what they meant by marking. When it comes to appearance, I think these individuals must appear as normal individuals, or we would have already recognized them. When we go to the university, we would have been able to see that something's up. But I think that this tattoo symbolizes that they're part of it, but they look like normal human beings. And with like the photos that were shown, they look like everyday college students. So I'm assuming that the furry aspect that we've already decided is part of this community is something that's only during ritual and it's not during everyday life. I think that they appear as like normal students, so that way it's easier to recruit these individuals. Honestly, I think this is something that's been going on for a long time, and the reason that we haven't been able to pick up on it is because they look like everyone else.
So actually we were able to discover that they have like this tier system going on, and I have a helpful chart that I pulled up that it kind of explains kind of the power that's kind of been structured, going from ranging from 1 to 5 not being a furry to full on 100% furry. And it explains more detail in the chart, but the more of a furry you are, the higher power you have. The top being kind of like the leaders and like the popes, essentially, and the bottom being recruits. And you have to be a wolf when you're a new member, as we recently discovered. So that's all I have for their government setup right now. We might be finding more later in the future. Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. I'm sure it's safe to assume that the cult uses pretty current technology since they exist currently. And they obviously use flash drives to document their own existence. And since all of these documents include photography, they definitely use cameras. And they actually have this photo of a person in a furry suit holding a camera, which we can assume is their main photographer for during their meetings.
When I was looking at the agricultural and trade file in the drive, I found that the crops that they like to do research and gather information on is bulgur, chickpeas, corn, dwarf wheat, and snow peas. I also found a map that lays out where everything is located around the world. The interesting thing is though is like some of the information on these fields and crops that they specialize in and are trying to develop, it's amazing. They look at their targeting bacteria and finding out that there's ways that they can destroy other crops by just changing small chemical imbalances in them and making their crops essentially super crops. But inside the trade, which was really terrifying, is the trade contracts I found. I mean, there's a lot of countries here that they have trade contracts with it. I mean, I've looked at a couple of them, and they're just super detailed, and they go into all these things that they have all these exclusive trading rights and crop rights. I mean, it's amazing what they've been able to tie together, and it's just I'm sure that they're using their political assets to help them make these trades and deals. I found people and their characters, their society, and like it's just crazy how intertwined in our society they are. I mean, senators, governors, CEOs, presidents of corporations, Fortune 500 companies. It's just unbelievable. So when I was looking at the security protection folder, I just found some really interesting layouts and designs to like and how massively expansive this I mean headquarters is underneath the campus. They spent a lot of time planning these traps and designing them and having security checks and protocols for in case anything were to happen or if their secret was to get out. Uh, it's a redundancy upon redundancy to keep them safe. I can't imagine any society like this, you know, being relatively new. This has to be an old society that's been around for centuries doing the same work, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
So, in terms of leisure, we can assume that the members of this cult have a love for animals since they worship them. And so they probably, most of them probably have pets that they care for and play with in their spare time. And some other leisurely activities could be meeting up with the other cult members and cooking lasagna. And they do have some pictures here. We have this one, which is just a giant lasagna, which we can assume was enough to feed everyone at the cult meetings. And they also have these plates that seem to have imagery of UWU on them. And I also have a lasagna recipe, which we can assume is so they can relay how to make the lasagna correctly for their meetups. It's like a giant lasagna, from what I can tell, which I assume they just cook one of those whenever they meet.
Hey, so we have that map. I feel like we should go check it out to see if we can find our way into the society. It looked like it was located like in the admin to the underground tunnels, suppose. I don't know.
Yeah. I could definitely go check that out. That sounds like something I could do.
I mean, I guess I can go with you too. I might as well. You got nothing else better to do during this quarantine.
I'll send you guys the map.
All right, awesome.
All right, I think I found a secret location to this furry society. But it does look kind of creepy down here. Wonder what's down here. So creepy. It's so dark. Where's the light switch? What the hell is that? Okay. I think we got away. I think we're good. Wait, what was that? What is that?
Hey, Peyton, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? Have you
Good.
heard anything on what Kayla and Steve are up to?
Well, I sent them that map that I found, and it seemed to be the entrance of UWU, the underground tunnels, where the society meets up, and I gave it to them, and they said they were going to go explore it, but I haven't heard back from them. So I don't know.
Oh my god. Oh.
Taylor, are you okay?
You doing good over there, Kayla?
Oh my god. Okay. So I tried to get to that entrance, right? I was trying to follow your map.
Mhm.
Oh my god. But it was really dark and spooky down there, and then I think I saw someone down there. I had to run. I was in danger. Like there was someone in there. And Yeah.
And
Didn't you go with Steven?
I guess, yeah. I don't know where he is though. Like
Steven,
he's gone. He hasn't come back with me.
Steven, are you there? Oh my god.